Hello again, lovely people, and as promised I said that I would do a second part to this video as to what I see in the future. And we're going forward now, we're going forward by at least 5 years. Okay, now a while ago I did a meditation, I did a very deep meditation. It was a while ago, it was over 20 years ago, and I was shown that there wasn't many people walking around on the earth. I did feel as if there had been a virus, and the year I was given was 2030, not 2020, interestingly enough. And a little while after that, I did another very deep meditation. This time it was a lot longer, it was a lot deeper, and again I got the year 2030. But in this meditation, I got a voice saying, you either clean up your mess on your planet or we will. And it was quite firm, it was loving, but it was firm. And I really felt at that time that there was some kind of intergalactic or UFO or some higher intelligence in that meditation speaking to me and just letting me know that we need to look after our planet. We need to look after what is natural rather than just stuff and material things, and that time and each other and compassion and empathy and caring will take precedence in the future rather than just stuff. Okay, so it's almost as if we're going backward, we're coming forward with technologies, and that's the way I'm being shown it's going to go. But on another aspect, we're almost going to go backward back into nature. So I'm just going to shuffle my tarots because they help me to concentrate to get this message across to you. What I saw in the timeline as it goes forward was a world that is much cleaner. So the first thing I was shown was that the skies were a lot clearer and they were a lot bluer. And that seems to be gradually heading in that direction. I was also shown that there were less people around. Now, I wouldn't be alarmed by that because I almost felt as if some people had actually gone off planet. Now, I know that sounds a bit crazy, but I feel as if we're going to have a technological leap. And that is going to come in around 2022, 2023, that will be announced. But I feel as if there is going to be a huge technological leap. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. It could be some intergalactic merger going on, but that is what I felt and what I saw, and that is all I can go by and tell you. Okay, so a cleaner planet. I felt that planes would still be used as transport, but not so much. There was some form of travel that was different, but I wasn't shown it, but it's a lot faster, a lot quicker, and a kind of a blue energy, a clean energy, a free energy is what I was being shown. So this new world really does seem quite exciting. I was also shown to be encouraged as well, huge knowledge centres. Now, they're a bit like libraries, but they have beautiful white columns. An awful lot of money will be spent in these buildings. They will be huge, and they will be in most major towns and accessible. I saw a beautiful fountain outside, really making something of these institutes, and they are free for all to go into. Knowledge is the new currency in a way. And it is to be encouraged with people, but not necessarily academic knowledge. Now here's the thing, and here is where it's all going to change, because empathic knowledge, emotional intelligence kind of knowledge, lots of different creative knowledges, lots of different ways of learning are going to be introduced. And this huge centre, I saw old books in the basement and on the ground floor, and then as you go up, you had more kind of new agey stuff. You could go up and you would have then obviously your Kindle books, which aren't old physical books, But then you would go up another level if you wanted to, and you would have holographic information and books, or even direct downloads. So I do feel there is going to be some kind of mind chip. Personally, I don't like the idea of that, but I was shown and I was told that that is optional. It will not be forced, and no one will be treated any differently. It's simply a choice. Ways of learning is what they're interested in, and that's what I was being shown, to encourage ways of learning. So everyone will be encouraged to learn from biology and the natural world to caring. It's not just about money and financials. It's not just about property. It's going to be so much more than that. Children will be encouraged to learn about astrophysics, about the quantum field theories, and dark energy as well. I was being shown that, but very much about nature and energy as well. So there's a link there, the quantum field. So that's really interesting, these beautiful centres. And of course, they are adapted for all ages and all abilities. All are welcome. That was the message I was being given. So that's really, really exciting. I didn't see as many schools, funnily enough, just lots of knowledge centres. Quite peaceful centres, and there are quiet areas that children can go to. But information can literally be accessed anywhere that you go. So it's really, really good, and people get excited about it. It's encouraged. People's strengths will be looked at as well. So some people are strong academically, but some people are very strong in other areas. Art, I saw the arts are really going to grow. Beautiful handmade things, very much manufacturing is going to be scaled down, and the more personal touch is scaled up. It's almost as if there is something being promoted that is very, very extra special about something that is unique, that no one else has. And that can only be done when you're having something made personally for you. If these cards were personally hand-drawn, they wouldn't be like anyone else's in the world. So it's kind of a sense of community was being encouraged as well. I saw that the waters were clear, and that there was harmony was a big word. Not so much balance, but harmony. Things working in harmony, which is kind of logical in a way, were being encouraged. So that's with the natural world, and every other part of society as well. I saw the fashion industry sadly taking a hit. I love fashion. I'm in my keep fit gear today, but I saw that taking a bit of a hit sadly, and clothes being just a bit simpler and easier for people to live in, and more comfortable as well. I saw many more natural fibres and high quality things being offered to people, but the statement of the ego is very much not being encouraged as much. So it's just about really mastering your emotions and mastering your own ego. When we do that intelligently, we begin to evolve, and we evolve out of the ego, and therefore out of the need for greed, the need to be right, the need to fight, the need for ownership. Okay, when we step out, and that these intelligences are wanting to encourage, and this is the world that I was being shown. I was being shown less children, interestingly enough, and more about women taking back their personal power. There's been a lot of women over eons that have, been beaten, have been raped, have been mistreated, have generally been picked on just because they're physically weaker. and in some cases they're just an easy target. They're being encouraged to step into their feminine power, their divine feminine power. And I saw as a result, very beautiful women walking around. It's almost as if they were like swans, their posture, that their feminine side was coming out, and they weren't ashamed of showing that. They weren't in fear of showing that femininity. So that was really coming out, not sexuality, femininity, two different things. So I saw this very strong feminine power coming forward, and actually the intellect of women really taking a massive leap upwards as well. Not saying that women are stupid, but a lot of things have been designed over the centuries by men, while women have, in the past concentrated on having babies over the past few hundred years, thousands years, and men have gone off and created in different ways. But this now is changing. I was shown it's changing, and because of that, there doesn't seem to be a need. Women don't feel there's a need to have a baby, to validate themselves, or to feel that they have to follow society, or maybe they can't get money unless they have a child. That is going to stop. They're literally standing in their own power. And this whole yin and yang, the dark and the light side, the male and the female, is going to kind of harmonize. It's going to come into a balance. So that's really exciting for women. And men are actually going to quite like it too. The control that men in the past have got mixed up with protection program is also going to upgrade and evolve itself. So rather than a guy getting in distress because he thinks he's going to lose his woman, because he thinks he owns her and therefore he needs to control her, is going to go. The intellect, the evolution of us in our heart centers, is going to make sure that that happens, and he will go back to the original protection program. And that is a program where women don't necessarily need protecting, but it's a natural, rhythmic, harmonistic program whereby guys will naturally just want to make sure that women are looked after, that they're protected, that children and women feel safe. Real beautiful, gallant, strong, courageous, balanced men coming forward. And their feminine is actually, their part of their feminine is going to come up. And that means that they're just as strong and they're just as masculine, but it means that they are in harmony with their feminine. They're not afraid of their emotions. They're not afraid to admit to whatever. They see it instead as a strength of ownership. And this is really exciting for all of us, because the children are watching, remember, the way that adults work and behave. So not so many children around. I didn't see so many children around. And when children are born into a family, you'll find that the whole community will actually want to celebrate and get involved with the raising of that child. A bit like I'm being shown wolves. You get wolf packs where they, all the female wolves look after the cubs, not just the mum. Everybody gets involved. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. And for that cub, for that child, what a life to be made a fuss of by everybody, to be encouraged and shown lots of different skills and lots of different perspectives, rather than just a narrow one. Their whole mind can open up to that. So how amazing is that? So that is what I was shown. I was showing an ending to war. So no more war, no more gain, no more monetary gain from war, no more games, people literally playing games with other people's lives through war. People are going to evolve way past that. They're going to evolve here and here. It's not just the mind, it's the heart center as well. This is so exciting, guys. It really, really is. So what else can I tell you that I saw? I saw roads are very, very clear. I did see electric cars, very quiet. Oh, I saw the most amazing monorails going down highways and motorways on these amazing stilts. They're like silver bullets, and you've got different cabins. So you can get off at different stops, but they're very, very quiet. Blue clean energy is what I was being shown. And you have almost like the tourist car, which is mostly glass. It's heat adaptive glass, and it actually darkens when it gets too sunny and goes lighter in the winter. And this heat adaptive glass, so you're not too uncomfortable. They move very, very quickly, but they can go slower, obviously. But that is for people who are here to visit in the country, and they just want to see the countryside, because the view above motorway or highway is going to be so much nicer. They stand about 25 to 35 feet high. I wasn't quite sure on that, but they're very sturdy, very, very safe. They disengage at the end carriage by actually sliding down the two poles. So you've got the bullet carriage and they slide down, and that's how they disengage and you get off. There's platforms that come out and then you get back on again. I get so many cool inventions sent to me, you would not believe the stuff I see. There's also different cars there's one for children, so children can play in one, and parents are quite happy to leave them in there. And there's ones for people that don't want tech, they just want to look out the window. They might charge up their tech, but they just want to be quiet. Some people do want to be quiet. They might be studying, they might be daydreaming, whatever. And there's a social car where people want to chat and they want to mix. So this new society is very much encouraging people to be understanding of and not to take offence. If someone wants to be alone, it's not because they don't like you. It's just because they want to be alone, okay? If someone wants to be with a crowd of people, it's not because they want to get away from you and you're boring. It's just because they want to be with a crowd of people. So it's just learning to encourage people to be more honest and true to themselves. That is how we're going to move forward. So those were really, really interesting. I also saw a lot of stuff underground. I saw underground parking to keep the roads clear, and it's very well structured. And I saw like a lattice effect, a steel structure under the road that actually added strength. Now, I'm not an engineer, but that is what I was shown. I was also shown undersea cities, undersea hotels. They looked so cool. And they were actually like a globe on stilts. They went right the way down into the seabed. And you can actually wake up with a fish just going past you. Absolutely amazing. A new society where people are actually willing to spend money on things as a whole, rather than this is my house, this is my car. It's public transport, it's parks, monorails for everyone to enjoy. So that you're encouraged to go out more, you're encouraged to experience more, to learn more, to share more information through sight, sound, experience, knowledge. This is where we're heading. They want us to climb the evolutionary stairway, all of us. So I felt that there's not so many people on planet because they are off planet, they're off grid. I feel almost as if some are going to be collected. I know that sounds a bit way out there, but I felt that some people are going to be collected and that others are going to be living off planet, and these plans are already being made. Okay, and it's fine. I also saw that some people actually will be living in caves. Now, do you know what? When I was a little girl, I always used to fantasize about being a Flintstone because I thought it was so cool, and I've got an affinity with caves. I love the ambient temperature of caves, and I think sometimes when you carve a home out of stone, I know in Santorini they're absolutely beautiful, they're white, and you know, just go in very simplistic but almost futuristic living. For some people, not all, it's going to be a choice. Some people will be living like that, and it will be an ambient temperature, it will be a good environment for certain people to live in. It's also going to be announced that some of us have very different DNA from others. This is interesting. And that there may be some alien DNA in some of us. And that will account for why some people need to live in slightly different environments to others. They don't have to, but they can if they wish to. So some foods, we're going to find out about blood groups more. We're going to find out about DNA much more. And we're going to find about why certain people are good at certain things and others aren't. But there will be no judgment on that. No judgment. And we are going to grow exponentially because it's really, really exciting. Okay, so this is really, really good stuff. Finally, what I saw is that people won't have to work 8 hours a day, but they will be encouraged to contribute. And once your strengths are found, and they'll be looking for more than one strength in each human being or each being, then you will be encouraged, you won't be forced, you will be gently encouraged, and you will be supported if you've got any inhibitions about being a nurse, or you've got any nervousness. That will, you know, therapy or whatever, that I feel there's going to be some frequency machines to help with that, to help people pass their nerves and their insecurities, which may have been passed down generation after generation. But I feel that people will be encouraged to move into the arenas of where their strengths, their natural strengths lie. And that could just be anything from a phone call to people that need it, that are lonely, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, to whatever. But people are going to have so much more free time. They're going to be encouraged to be healthy. We're going to want and realise the benefits to a healthy society who are continuously learning, improving on themselves. You know, we're going to switch on to the fact that when the whole is happy and not worried or in fear, then everything falls into place. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you want another video like it, then in a few days' time I can do that too. In the meantime, have a really good day. Okay, bye.